Oh, let me call the person. Oh, you all seen the participant list? The next person is actually Amelia.
Everyone, my name is Amelia, and online classes is kind of difficult, right? And well, it's also nice too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have your own space at home, you know, be in the comfort of your home. But the disadvantages in doing online work is that, like, say, like if I have a question, I wouldn't be able to ask you directly. I will have to type. So I always rather face-to-face learning than online. So that's it for me.
Gotcha. All right, thanks, Amelia. Next person, Anaya.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Miss. My name is Anaya Thomas, and I don't like anything about the online so far, but I guess it's working out. But they can't explain it in front of my face, and you could show me.
Yes.
So what do I?
Right. I understand. And that's the thing. Just now when you was talking, you froze a bit. So that is something that we will have technical issues. And that is why we have the recording. So in case anybody get the internet drop, the current cut, you can always access the class even though you logged off for some reason, right? So that's a pro. All right, so next person, let's hear from Antonio.
Hi, my name is Antonio Dukiram, and I enjoy online class because it's kind of easier, so we could do stuff like, maybe take a break, like it is easier compared to going to school. We can have early. Yeah.
Thank you. Next person, right? So Sierra and then Shu Diamond.
Hi everyone, my name is Sierra Lopez. I know y'all are not seeing my last name, but my name is Sierra Lopez. I like online classes because I can lie down on my bed and listen to Miss and follow. And that's nothing we don't like because I like it. And yeah, that's about it.
You're comfortable.
Yeah, Miss. I am Shadaimanite and I like online school because you could be home
we seen half of
and
the
in
face.
school.
What happened? We seen half of the face.
You could be home and in school, and I don't like it because now I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of it, huh? But I like it more. I don't know.
I like it too. I like it because you could be home.
Yes. All right. And you all are friends, cousins, what?
With cousins.
Okay. And Aidan is also a family member?
Yeah, miss.
All right. Let's make sure you all stay focused in a group because groups could be a little, playful.
Yeah.
Emily?
Hi, Miss. I wasn't here for the first part. What exactly are we doing?
We're just introducing ourselves and we're just giving a little gist of what you like about online class, what you miss about physical class, anything.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Emily. I like online classes, but at the same time I don't. I don't know. It's a mix between it. I like it and I don't like it because I like being physically in class. I think it's easier for me to focus for some reason. Because at home is more, I just feel more relaxed because you're home.
Yes.
So, in between.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
And I'll definitely show you all ways on how to make a room, how to designate a space that will make you focus regardless of wherever you are. If it's home or by your grandparents or wherever you are. All right, so next person after Emily is Jenna.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jana Pavan. I don't really like online school, but I still have to do
I know
it.
the face.
Yeah,
A familiar CTS face, okay.
That is miserable, Jenna.
I
Jenna, you don't talk?
yeah, I don't necessarily like online school, but I guess we have to deal with it pretty well because being home and you could be distracted by so many things.
But we have an option, which is excellent, though. We have an option. All right, thanks, Jenna. Next is Kabir.
Good morning, Miss. My name is Kabir Ali.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
We done lots of home, eh?
Yeah, thing I like is you're still getting a chance to learn,
Yeah.
and I don't really dislike anything about it, but that's about it.
All right, thanks. And next we have Mira.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mira Puran. I don't really like the online classes because it's not as the same as in school. I don't really, yeah, that's it.
All right. You know, some people who have problems hearing the audio. I notice a lot of you all have those headphones. That helps a lot. So if you know your home have like probably construction going on outside or near close to the highway, whatever it may be, you could get the headphones. It helps, right? Because it kind of cancel out the noise at the background. Just a little point. Next, Nathaniel.
Hello everybody, my name is Nathaniel Ali. I like online classes because at home, well I don't really like it because it's just very distracting being home. I really like it because of that. At home just I can't focus on my talk even though I have one headset.
All right. Sanjay.
Hi, I'm Sanjay.
We have an echo, so you're sitting close to Emily, that's why.
Yeah.
Rainfall, you know?
All right, so I think we just miss Sanjay for a bit.
Hi.
Right, so what do you like about online class? I didn't hear that.
I like physical class better.
All right, and make sure I'm coming here, you know. Don't forget to come here. All right, Suri.
Hi, good evening. My name is Suri Sipasad. The reason why I like online classes because I'm in a room and you can get to do work in your room, although mommy doesn't want me to. But and the reason why I do not like online classes is because I can't really talk face to face to my teacher.
Yes. And this lighting is horrible, so please don't judge me here. Zaydan. Ramsa, hi.
Hi, good day. I'm Zilan Ramsai. I like online classes. I'm comfort of my house. I have a fan, I have AC, food, no one. What I would say the disadvantage is that I don't really have people to really talk to at the side, like my friends. People to do miserable with me, serious things.
Oh no. All right, thanks everyone. I think, did we miss out anyone? I think that's all the names. All right, so since I put a face to everyone now momentarily, if I call upon you and you have to answer a question or I'm picking on you, I want to see your work. Now, sometimes I have surprises, as Mr. Brown said, I have surprises in my class, right? So I'm always going to keep you all active and focused. Now, I'm hearing a lot of people saying, you know, they're home so they could get a little distracted. Now you have to isolate yourself. And I noticed some people like Aidan and his cousin, Ciara Diamond. If I were you all, also Emily and Sanjay, this if you have that how to say, if you're able to work together, all well and good. If you notice like somebody not seeing the screen, or they're not hearing well, or they have to share things, it could become a little distracting. Once you have your own material, your own space, that's all you really need, and a quiet room, right? So you see close to the television, close to the road, that will not work. You have to really isolate yourself in one room. Outside too, sometimes the internet might drop, you know, so you have other factors. So if it is you could find one room in the house that you alone could be in for 3 hours, now I'm not going to have you in prison. Obviously we will have breaks, and yes, you could get your snacks. Now obviously when I'm teaching, it's important that you're not gouging down a meal. You have your knife and fork, and you're drinking, and you're eating away. You will not understand exactly what I'm teaching. So I want your full devoted attention, especially when I'm explaining concepts, right? Because we are going to learn about the human body. There's a lot of scientific elements with it. So people who are totally new to science, you have to really spend the three full hours, but you have to spend the time listening to the explanation. All right. Also, lighting is important. So you see those rooms, if you have natural light, like a window nearby, like I just actually opened my curtain a bit, natural light stimulates the brain cells. If you're in a dark, gloomy room, you're going to feel very sleepy. You're going to get
No, that'll be too bright.
Okay, some people still unmuted. All right, so let's double check, make sure your mic's mute. Make sure you have I personally like the LED bulbs, the white light. It is more pleasant on the eye, it doesn't strain the eyes, because remember, you're going to look at a screen for long. You can adjust the dimness in the screen as well. That helps with the eye strain. A lot of people have these blue light glasses. You don't have to go out and buy any glasses or anything like that. But frequently, I don't want anybody starkly staring at the screen, if that makes sense. Kind of momentarily like look around, kind of like stretch your neck, remain. Now, if you sit, like I said, we will have little breaks, so you have to get up and, you know, go for water, go to the bathroom if you need to. So you're not sitting for the 3 hours, because that could become very tiring, right? Number one thing, make sure your device is charged, right? Because some people just go to sleep with their phone, their music playing, they're on YouTube. Make sure your devices is 100%, because 3 hours of having it on Zoom, it is going to suck a lot of battery power. So make sure your device is charged and ready for class every single day. Make sure you have your notebook. I'm going to show you all how to get the notes. And next thing with being focused, sit next to a table. The bed, sitting in a bed, yes, it's comfortable, but it could be too comfortable and you could fall asleep, right? So if I notice I'm calling on someone and they're just not responding, I will take that as you're not present, and I will put you absent in my class, right? I need you to be active. I need you to be seated, listening, doing the activities, showing me the work, and I have my ways on which I will be able to see your work. All right. So I'm going to take off the camera now. You all could take off your cameras as well. I'm going to share my screen. Right, so first to begin, I'm going to show you all how to access the notes using your Google Drive account. Now everyone will have access to a folder. Now first you go into your, now there are multiple ways you could access this. Some people have Gmail. You go to your Gmail, you sign up, you sign in your email address and so forth. Then you go to share with me, right? Some people might get a link if they don't have a Gmail with this folder. So when you go to the folder, you are going to see CSEC. If you all are listening and seeing the screen, you all could follow. You all could jot down little steps to get the notes, right? Or you could listen to the recording after. You go to CSEC 2020 to 2021. Then you are going to see September 2020. You click on that. That is our academic year. Now for HSB, you will see one, two, three, four folders. We have the textbook, which I take a lot of the notes from, practice questions, diagrams. This book is really lovely. If you all are ever in access with a printer or could even purchase this book, I totally support having a book hard copy. All right, I don't like, especially people who are using phones, it is going to be a little difficult to skim through the pages and read. All right, so if you could get your hand on this book, it's on the it's on soft copy. You can have it here, or you can print it, or you could purchase it. So that's the textbook, which we will be using from now till May. Also, I have my notes every week. Now, this is the full-time class. So we go to the full-time folder and we are in term 1. We click on term 1 and this is week 1. So everything for today's class has already been posted. So I have to teach this, of course. Now, every week I send the notes before the class, right? So in case people want to print it and have it hard copy, no problem. Now, sometimes I may make minor changes before the actual class, but it's nothing major. You can still print it. All right, so I did send this on WhatsApp already, and there are some little changes to it. So you can just look at my presentation and add it in if need be. So this is the note. Every presentation will be supported with a past paper question. So you're going to have the actual notes as a PowerPoint, and you're going to have the actual homework past paper. All right, so this is week 1. Week 2 will be posted next week, and then we keep following through. So that's the notes and homework. So no one could say they don't know where the homework is. The next folder, oh sorry. So besides notes, right, you go back, there's the past papers. This will come in very, very handy, especially by the end of this month, because obviously I have to teach you all topics in order for you all to do full past papers. Now HSB have 2 papers. You have a paper 2. This have the years from 2005 all the way to 2020 exam. All right. I even have the exam that just went in July. So we have the paper 2s, and then we have the paper 1s, which is multiple choice. Well, thankfully, I was able to have this in one file. Now you're going to have a lot of years in this. This actually have GCE papers as well, which is English exams. But we will focus mostly on the CSEC papers, which is at the bottom of this file, right? So if I were you, download everything, because you never know if, you know, some technical problem happen and we might not have access to the site. Download everything, make folders in your computer or your, if you're using phone, it might be a little difficult. So you could probably hold up a little while, put it in a flash drive if you could. So at least you have it in a flash drive. If ever in front of a computer, you have the files. So we have the syllabus as well, right? HSB syllabus has, well, there are updates to it, which I will let you all know of. I have my boiled down syllabus as well, so you all can access it here. Every week, you will know exactly what topic is being taught. All right, so I'm going to go through the syllabus, a little overview with you all. Now you all are a lucky bunch, right? This is the bunch, this academic class, you all are lucky because you all don't have to do the SBA. From 2022, that new academic year will have to do a paper 1, a paper 2, as well as an SBA. So you are the last bunch to not have an SBA. All right, so we definitely have to get the grade 1s and we have to get this subject out of the way. I don't want anyone happen to come back and finish this off. Okay, so this is the syllabus. These are the different sections for HSB. Now, because it doesn't have a SBA, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Section A is what we are looking at. We are starting today. So there's a lot of topics that fall under this. This have to do with mostly what are some organisms, different examples, and about the environment, how they live in the environment, in other words. Section B has to do with a lot with our body. So all of our bodily systems, we're going to look at in great detail. So we're looking at the brain, the heart, the lung, the kidney, the reproductive organ, the eye, the skin. So all of that will be taught in section B. Section C deals with heredity and variation. So this deals with how you inherit genes from your parents. We also look at how every individual looks different, how there's variety in a population. Section D now deals with disease and its impact on humans. So this is a very fun topic because this is why we have online classes, is because of a COVID disease that started this whole pandemic. So this is a very fun topic and it's very educational as well, seeing that this is something we are facing. Section E deals with the impact of health practices on the environment. So again, this has to do a lot with pollution and sewage treatment, how we treat water as well. So again, there are things that you may have heard of, or there are things that you may learn for the very first time. So I'm going to share a little poll. I hope you all know how to use the poll. I'm going to ask a question. You all will select a response just to have an idea how well you're familiar with the subject or if you have any science experience at all. All right, so I'm going to create a poll. So I know my students. So okay, so I think you all could see that. Did you all get any pop-up?
Nope.
Add. How to add? It's supposed to pop up somewhere. Polls. All right, launch polls. I think it's supposed, right, it's supposed to pop up now. So you all could go ahead and select your response. Okay, so a lot of people 54% of the class, half of the class I would say, or more, have a little general knowledge of science. And 2 students, I would say, don't. All right, no problem. This gives me a little idea of your knowledge in science so far. But I teach as though you don't know anything in science, but you really have to listen, huh? All right, so let me go through. Right, now this is sent to you all, the format of the exam. So I just want you all to have an idea of how you will be tested. You're going to have a paper 1, which is an hour and 15 minutes. It's 60 multiple choice questions from all parts of the syllabus. So you can't just focus on one part of the syllabus, you have to learn this whole syllabus. You also have a paper 2, which is 2 hours long, and it has 6 compulsory questions. Compulsory meaning you can't choose which question to do. You have to do all questions in this paper, and it's divided into 2 sections. So section A tends to be, it's four questions, and each question is worth 15 marks and is broken down into parts. So you will have like a 2-mark question, a 3-mark question, a 4-mark. So these questions tend to be short answer. However, one question will be what you call a data analysis type question. So you all will have to learn about graphs. All right, you will have to know what is a bar graph, how to understand the information in a graph and do questions from a graph. Right? Section B now has 2 questions, which is essay type questions. So this is more explanation. You have to give a lot of points. You have to obviously know how to spell, how to write grammatically correct. You have to be able to demonstrate a lot of knowledge in the question, and each question is worth 15 marks. All right. Now this don't apply to you all, but if anybody here is writing an exam in 2022, look out. We will have to do an SBA. Some of you may have heard of it already. If you're doing it with the school, it's what you call a research project. If you're doing it outside of the school, meaning privately, doing it as a private candidate, then you have to do what you call an actual paper 3, right? Which is asking questions about a case study. Right, so that explains the exam itself. The weighing of the papers, meaning how much marks. So your paper 1 is 30%, right? Your paper 2 is 50%. Now again, you all not doing the SB. So in fact, your paper 1 is actually 40% for you all, and your paper 2 is 60%. So 60 and 40 is 100%. So you all have to nail your paper 1, nail your paper 2, and you get your grade 1. All right. This is an in-depth guide of all the topics that you have to become familiar with. So we are actually starting with this first section here, living organisms and the environment. So let me get the PowerPoint. You all can get your notebooks out because there are at some point I will tell you all what to write from the notes, what to head up and so forth. Okay. And I'm going to launch another poll. I want to know who's writing an exam next year and who's writing an exam in 2022. All right, so you all can go ahead and select your option. If you have any questions during the class, make sure you could use the chat. So everyone so far in this class is writing exams next year. Very well. So this is serious business. So some people who, you know, when they have some time in their hands, they write in the following year. They tend to get a little, you know, lazy. All right, so right. Okay, so you all are going to head up section A, living organisms in the environment. All right, and you are also going to have your date, of course, and you're going to have a subheading. Now this is one topic under this section. We are going to look at characteristics of a living organism. If everyone has already head up and waiting, press 1 in the chat. Sometimes one of your classmates, you know, some people may have questions. Feel free, the others in the class could also address questions if you know. Right? This class is not just myself talking. I want everyone to, you know, help out. You all could talk as well when I call you. Okay, so we're moving on. Now this is just a self-check slide. So this is how you track how you understand the topics. So when I'm finished and when you all are finished reviewing your notes, you could just check yes or maybe or no. So I will know if you understand the topic. So after every class, you all will send me a screenshot of this and you all will go through it. Use like a, you know, one of those editing tools and click yes or no or what have you and send me. So, all right, so this is just to make sure that you understand the topics. The objectives are, so we're going to look at characteristics of a living organism. We're going to look at structure and function of plant, animal, fungal, and bacterial cells. These are living things. These are what you call organisms. A virus, however, is non-living. I will talk to you all about that. We are going to look at structure and function of cells in the body, a topic that you all have to maybe new. Cells is a very interesting topic. We're going to look at two terms, cell specialization, cell differentiation, and lastly, we're going to look at how the body is organized. All right, so this slide, this PowerPoint presentation is just 26 slides. So after maybe 5 slides or so, we'll take a little, you know, 5 minutes break and so forth, right? So let's start with the first thing. What is a living organism? So you all can actually go ahead and write this definition. what an organism is basically something that is living. And that is what HSB is all about. We are studying, in particular, we look at humans, but we have to know what are other living things that exist. All right? Biology is basically the study of life or the study of living organisms. So you all could take down what an organism is and the examples. So we have animals, plants, and we have a new category, microorganisms. You have a bunch of different microorganisms, which we will get into. Now the next thing, now for these things to be alive, they have to share 7 common characteristics. So in order for an animal to be alive, it has to have, it must be able to grow, reproduce, it must be able to be irritable in the environment if there are changes in the environment. They must be able to move, they must be able to feed, which is nutrition, they must be able to excrete, and they must be able to respire. So these are what you call the 7 characteristics of a living thing. So we're going to take down the slide here. You're going to head up characteristics of a living organism, and you're going to jot down 1 to 7. Now you don't have to write the notes. You just write growth, respiration, number 3, irritability, and you go all the way down. And that is why we have a little acronym to remember the 7 characteristics. It's what you call GRIMNA. So let me highlight the letters. G, R, I, M. Now, a lot of times you're going to learn numerous features, characteristics, and this is a very nice way to remember your notes. You form a little word from the points. GRIMNA, that's right. Don't worry if you forgot something. Remember, the slides are sent, all right? I'm letting you all write as we go along to keep you active. So if you missed something previously, the slide is already sent. So you just go back and look at the definition and you take it down. Because I want you all to have stuff in your book too, eh? I don't want a blank book. Right, so GRIMNA is the 7 characteristics which define something to be alive and living. So section B is where we actually go into each topic here, but let me just read through what growth is about. Growth is the increase of weight or size. So plants, animals, microorganisms have to increase in size, but obviously they grow differently. Plants will grow towards sunlight. Humans in particular grow up to about age 18. Respiration is the release of energy from food and complex chemical reactions. Now, respiration is basically when so right now we are respiring because we are using energy. We are using energy from the food that we consume. So in order for us to get the energy in the food that we consume, our body is undergoing a lot of chemical reactions to get the energy. All right, so it's a future topic which we will look at. Irritability. Now in some textbooks, they call it sensitivity, right? We are sensitive to changes in the environment, right? So for instance, if the room that you are in is very hot, you are going to respond to that change in the environment by sweating. All right, so our body is built in a way that we become irritable and we become sensitive to changes in the environment, which we can respond to. And that is why we have 5 senses. So I would like someone to unmute their mic, a volunteer, to tell me what 5 senses humans or animals have.
Scent, hearing, taste, touch,
Smelling.
feel.
All right, one person. I heard scent from Nathaniel.
As a sense, hearing, sight, touch, and hear, and smell.
Smell. Right. So sight, touch, smell. It could become confusing, eh? So you could see, you could hear, you could taste, you can. Right. So in other words, I want you all to jot down the 5 senses. So I'll write it on the chat for those who missed it. Right. So our 5 senses are sight, sound, taste, smell. Which one I'm missing there?
Touch.
Touch. Thank you. Right. So that is what irritability and sensitivity is all about. And that is something we will look at when we move on to future topics. The fourth one was movement. Each of us are able to move from one location to the next. Plants, however, they move by growing. So their leaves, their roots, their stem, it grows towards either sunlight, water, or gravity. So plants behave differently than animals, of course. Microorganisms, their movement is a bit different as well. Next one is nutrition. Nutrition comes from the word nutrient. So it deals with food that we consume and how we process the food in the human body. So this is a very long topic, which is digestion, and we will look at that in the future. We will also look at how plants make their own food next week. Excretion deals with the removal of waste. All right, because we are alive and well, our body is producing waste, especially from food that we eat as well. So not just from food, but we are actually producing a lot of harmful gases that need to be removed. And it's removed by the process of excretion. Last but not least, reproduction, which is always somehow sparks some interest in a lot of you all, seems to be the most famous topic. Reproduction is basically producing a new offspring. So we're going to look at types of reproduction, which are asexual and sexual reproduction. All right, so that's just a gist. For now, you all have to know what the 7 characteristics that define a living thing. You should be able to name them. All right, so that's good enough for you. Next, let's look at cells. So you all can head up cells and take down this definition. A cell is a basic unit of a living organism. So this is basically the smallest thing that our body is made up of. All right. Now you have 2 kinds of organisms. You have what you call unicellular. You all can take this down. Unicellular, also known as single cell. This is when an organism is made up of one cell. For example, we have bacteria, amoeba, And we also have one other one, which is called protozoa. All right, so this is a whole class of organisms which we'll look at, unicellular, and we also refer to them as microorganisms or microbes. Because they are so small, you need a microscope to look at it. Micro means very tiny. So you all are going to take down everything in this slide. Feel free, if you have like snacks and stuff, you all could munch on, but that obviously you all had lunch already, so you all don't need to have a full course meal right now. I want your devoted attention. You can have a glass of water, something to drink, coffee. Oh my gosh, that is also a tip. Please, if you're probably not allowed to drink coffee, I'm sorry, but you could drink tea. It helps. It really does help. When you all are finished with this slide, press 1 in the chat. And once I'm seeing people pressing 1, some people might be slow writers. We have to move on, right? Like I said, this class is 3 hours long and it's...
Mr. Are you?
No. You hear now?
Again, I will come back for me.
There's a Bigfoot pack, sorry.
Yeah,
okay, next slide. Multicellular. So that's us. We are multicellular.
I do this
when an organism is made up of many cells. Example, plants and animals. Now, I don't say humans, just because humans are under the animal category. If you ever do biology and you do classification, you will learn that we are actually a type of animal. Right, so now that we understand what's the difference between multicellular and unicellular, let's actually look at some cells. So the first one we're going to look at is what you call the animal cell. So this is found in all animals, including us, like I mentioned. So our body is made up of this structure. This is the smallest living thing in our body. All right. And inside of this structure, inside of the cell, oh yes, rain falling. I know hearing it, you know. Oh Lord. Anyways, the show must go on. Right. So we have organelles. Organelles are tiny structures inside of a cell. So I want you all to head up. Look at the chart. I'm going to type something. Organelle. Right, you all got that? Organelle, a tiny structure inside of a cell. Right, so there are many organelles inside of the cell. Next week, I'm picking you all up in a spelling test for each organelle name. So let me pronounce it, or let me explain what it does. So these little dots is what you call ribosomes. They are responsible for making protein in the cell. Right, so you will see it as small circular dots. Now the outline of this cell is like a barrier. It is what you call a cell membrane, and they call it a partially permeable layer. So I'm going to type what partially permeable means in the chat. If anyone so far is confused, please use the chat and let us address any problems that you're having so far. So partially, also known as differentially, or also known as selectively permeable, that means that it allows certain substances in and out. So what the cell membrane has is tiny pores or openings. So it's like a little gateway around, but only some things could enter and exit. The next term is cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is mostly water, so they call it a jelly-like substance. It has 80% water, 20% dissolved substances. Dissolved mean that we have sugar, we may have salt, we may have vitamins that is dissolved in this medium around the cell. So it covers the entire cell. Now the very center, you have a lot of things going on here. All right. This is what you call like the brain of the cell. It's called the nucleus. So this entire structure is called the nucleus, and it contains our genes. So our genes, which govern who we are, is stored. So this is like a little memory card. So in every body cell, every cell in your body have a nucleus, except one cell, which I will mention, which is the red blood cell. But every other cell has a nucleus, which contains your genes. This structure is basically the envelope, so that's like a little membrane around it. You have a little nucleoplasm or watery medium inside. The chromatin threads is what has our genes installed in it. And then the nucleolus, you don't have to know what this is just yet. So you all are just going to label this entire circle as well, you all could just learn nucleus for the spelling test next week. Now, if I were you, you all could head up structure of an animal cell and start writing down the names. You don't have to write down the description so that it's easier. You have it in your book so you can learn the spelling for next week. So you all could go ahead and write ribosome, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. Next word. Now I'm not going to say rough or smooth, but I'll tell you the difference. Endoplasmic reticulum. That is a structure responsible for also making proteins and storing them as well. The one that has rough written with it means that you have ribosome, the same structure, attached to the reticulum. The one without it, which is called smooth, does not have ribosomes attached. So rough means that I have ribosome, smooth has no ribosome. So I'll repeat what it does. Endoplasmic reticulum is the purpose of having this structure is also to make proteins and to store the protein for future use. The next structure is what you call the mitochondrion, right? So this is one mitochondrion, plural is mitochondria. This is what you call the powerhouse of the cell, which gives the cell energy to function in the first place. So this is what you call the site of respiration, a future topic we will look at. For now, please look at the structure and remember it as mitochondrion. These small circles, very different than the ribosomes, is larger in fact.
is called the vacuole. The vacuole stores waste, it stores food, it's numerous, it's small, and it's also temporary. So it appears in one location, or it might break down and appear in another location. So you write down ribosomes, make sure you all have the spelling correct. I hope you all are seeing clearly. Maybe I could zoom in. Let me zoom in. Right, so there we go. When you all are finished with these words, when you all are finished, you're going to press 1 in the chat, so I will move on to the next slide. Sedan, Suri, Mira, you all writing? All right, I'm moving on now.
Might do that.
Current what?
The current might.
All right, no
That
problem.
whole course is definitely.
Well, thankfully, we have the classes recorded. Current don't normally go in my area, thankfully. I don't want to say that too much, but even if you all get cut off and I'm still continuing, you just look at the recorded class. All right, next slide. Now this is a plant cell. Has almost the same things, except it has a cell wall, which the animal cell don't have. It have a cell membrane. Both of them have it. The cell wall is just there to protect the cell and give it its shape. These chloroplasts, which the animal cell don't have, so you all are going to write down, continue. You're going to put structure and function of a plant cell and take down these structures. Cell wall, cell membrane, chloroplast. This is responsible for photosynthesis, which we will look at next week. There's also ribosomes scattered in the cytoplasm. We have the mitochondrion as well. We have the vacuole. We have the rough endoplasmic reticulum again. We have the nuclear cytoplasm and smooth endoplasmic. So the only thing different here is that they have a cell wall and chloroplast. And look at the size of this vacuole. Who could tell me the difference between the vacuole and the plant cell? Just from observation, from the vacuole in the animal cell.
The vacuole in the animal cell is way more bigger. I mean more smaller. In the animal cell it's small, and in the plant cell it's way more bigger.
Correct. So you have small numerous vacuoles in the animal, but when I switch the plant, you have one, so you only have one and it's large. So when you are finished with the organelles in the plant, press 1 and we continue. Great. Moving on. So don't forget you're learning these words for spelling. Now this is the differences between the animal and the plant cell, which I think it was Ciara. I think it was Ciara was saying the vacuum, right? There are other differences. Actually, there shouldn't be differences here. This is functions. Right, so the functions of these organelles is given a little table here.
Miss, you spell functions wrong.
Yeah, I know that. Thanks. I just went through it, so if you want a little summary, you all can look at the diagram and also have the function, or you could also use the table. All right. Next table here is the similarities between the animal and plant cell. So this is what both of them have. Actually, this is the differences. So you see how it's good to check over. Right, so the differences are animal cell don't have a cell wall, plant cell have a cell wall. Animal cell don't have a chloroplast, plant cell have a chloroplast. So I'm gonna underline the key points in this table. Let me use the annotations. Where is it? Annotation. I used to have annotations, you know.
It probably disabled.
Wow, all right. Okay, so basically, what you're going to head up is animal cells, plant cell. All right, no problem. Right, you are going to put two columns, animal cell, plant cell. I'm going to call out everything that you're writing for animal cell one at a time. So once you have the table ready, under animal cell, put no cell wall. Right, we continuing under animal cells. You're also going to put no chloroplast. The spelling is on the slide. So what I'm doing here, I'm making concise notes for your book. Next, under animal cell, small, numerous, temporary vacuole. I'm saying it one more time. Small, numerous, temporary vacuole. Next, has glycogen granule. So that word is written in bold. Has glycogen granule. And last, under the animal cells, has a variety of shapes. has a variety of shapes. So you all are going to finish off plant cells on your own. It's just the opposite of what you wrote for animal cell. All right. So go ahead and work on plant cells. Write down your notes. You can use this table as a guide. Right, so when you all are finished with the table, press 1. Anybody not sure what to write for plant cell? Right. So in the meantime, you all are going to work on this activity here. So you're using these terms and you're going to label the structure in these organelles. All right, and then we will go for, so when you finish, we're going to take we're going to go for a little break. So I'm giving you like 5 minutes. You are just going to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and label, use these labels. Now they point in two things. They point in the same organelle in the plant as well as the animal cell. So the only hint I'm giving is this is the plant cell on the left hand side and this is the animal cell on the right hand side. All right. Of course, when you finish and you write it correct, press 1. Is Richie Sipasad in this class? Rishi Sipasad, if you are here, please message me. By the way, you all know I have an evening class, right? So make sure you don't mix up your class. If you sign up for the day class, it's 1 to 4. The evening class is really for those who can't attend full-time school. So that's like the private candidates who are not writing an exam in the school. That's from 4 to 8. Sorry, 5 to 8. So make sure you're in the right class because I am teaching different topics. So would anyone like to explain to Amelia what you have to do for the activity? Let's get someone who finished. So Mira, can you explain to Amelia, unmute your mic and explain to her what she has to do for the activity?
Amelia, you have to fill in the information on your right hand side here. You have your word to fill in there on the diagram.
Miss, it's not that one. It's like with the animal cells. I was doing like the next things, so I didn't get to complete it. Miss, you
But
can
you
hear
will
me?
have like about, I'm gonna tell you, how much people still working. Still have some people working. So I'm giving you all 2 more minutes. To finalize everything. All right, so let's correct. All right, so number 1. So this one points a small circle. It's numerous, but it's in groups of 1. So it's not like a cluster of dots, if you understand, right? So I'm putting 1, and if you realize 1 is not pointing the animal cell. So that's also a hint. So what is 1 class? Obviously not a
Chloroplast.
chloroplast. That's right.
Chloroplast.
Number 1 is chloroplast, right? Number 2, so it points an outline and it's not facing the animal cell. So what you have for that?
Cell wall.
Cell wall.
Cell wall.
Cell wall, correct. Number 3 points to the inner line, outline, and both of them. So that obviously that's the
Cell membrane.
Cell membrane.
Cell membrane.
Very good. Number 4.
Mitochondria. I forgot what it's called.
Mitochondria.
Mitochondrion.
Mitochondria.
Right. I hear a lot of feedback and background noise.
Yeah, that
What
rain
we
was
will do,
correct.
I will select who to answer. All right. So number 4, I did hear the correct answer from
Yes,
most of you, which was mitochondria.
Right.
So number 5, let me hear from Kabir. So this is how I know who is present, who not present, who to put absent. Don't forget, if you answer, you have to unmute your mic.
So you ask the question too?
Kabir Ali.
Okay.
All right, so therefore we're putting you on hold. I have to find out what's going on with Kabir. All right, but the answer for number 5 is the nucleus. Number 6, Zedon.
Vacuoles?
Yeah, this is the large permanent one, and this one is the small numerous one. Number 7, Suri.
Plasm.
Cytoplasm. And lastly, number 8. So this will not point in the plant cell, by the way. So that's a clue. So you can use the process of elimination here.
Starch grain.
Starch grain.
Starch grain, but guess what? The book made an error because starch grain is only in the plant
In the
cell.
plant
I
cell.
was like, huh?
It's real confusing though.
Yeah. So in fact, take off starch grain and put glycogen granule, which was in the table.
Right, right.
So a lot of you all figured the error out. Very good. Yes, textbooks make errors. CXC make errors in exam too. Believe it or not. Okay, so we're going for a short break. We're going to take 15 minutes break and we will return. Now is what time? Now is 2:37. So take 15 minutes break. Let's say about 2:50. Yeah, 2:50 we will resume class. Okay, so we returned from the break. I'm going to take the roll now. Now, if I'm not seeing someone, I'm going to call out the names. If I'm not hearing you, I'm putting you absent. Is that clear?
Yeah.
With a full class. All right, so Kabir Ali. Nathaniel Ali. Kabir, are you hearing me? Nathaniel Ali, sorry. All right, so some people taking extended breaks. Now in this list, anybody not seeing their name? Let me scroll down a bit.
Miss Excuse,
Yeah.
I see in my name, but I'm not on the WhatsApp group as yet. So I'm not too sure when they're going to add me.
The chat, I send the link. If you click on that link, if you're using your phone,
right,
that will send you to the WhatsApp group to join.
And which link is that? The email that you send us?
No. Go in the chat in Zoom right now. The chat.
Right.
You see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Click on that link and you can join the WhatsApp group from that.
Okay, yes, I got your thanks.
Excuse me, Miss.
Yeah.
This is Anaya. And Thomas Anaya is supposed to be under my email, Anaya277.
Oh, this is your email address here.
Yeah.
And
And
who's
the number there too. Same. Yeah, that's my number.
Who's John?
I don't know.
So that's a miss.
Yes, guys, for me there. So you don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, the name mixed up. All right, I see it. All right, so now we put this as Thomas Anaya. Right, who is John Ramsahai?
So you don't know. So you don't know what I'm saying.
Make sure the email correct, yeah, because I hold you.
Miss, my email under the wrong person name.
What's your name?
Eden.
Minal?
Yep.
Okay, I know who's Jenna. Oh, okay, I see. So Sierra Lopez supposed to be Sierra, I believe. Now, Sierra, how you all getting your notes from whose email?
My mommy's.
And that's the email here, Should Diamond?
No, miss.
It's Sierra.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take out this one here, and you will have to get it from Should Diamond. Is that fine for now?
Yeah, miss.
What is the confusion, Diamond?
Let's put it on email over there. Right. Jana Panan is here.
My name underneath.
Oh, okay. See that.
Miss, it seems like on the email side, everything stepped down one cell or one row down.
6. All right. Jana, do you have a number to add here? Type it, please. And if you're not in the group, the link is in the chat.
Missing in my number, Nathaniel.
Yes.
If you're not
391-5920. Oh no, I in the group.
look in here.
Miss Elena, now add me to the group.
All right.
Famous.
Well, I guess this is Mira email. Mira, do you have your number?
Yes, it's under 362. That's my number on email. 4950.
Oh, well, that dropped down to
Yeah.
Zena.
Yeah.
And Zena, your number is the 789 number.
Yes, miss.
All right. Well, we have they have the secretary for this kind of thing, so I'm not gonna deal up with this. I'm going straight back to the group. All right, so I'll let Mr. Brown do this.
Miss, you have to change my number too, because the same.
It dropped down. Ada Nights. All right. Ada Nights and the number. All right, the number dropped down. 36.
Miss, look right here. My name, put both of us have the same number. That's not my number right there.
Who's speaking to me?
Aidan Maynard, right there.
Yeah.
Right. That's not my number.
What
I don't think you have mine.
What it is?
707 5587. Yeah.
All right. I need
Excuse
group,
me.
right?
Yep.
Excuse me, miss, you have my wrong email address.
Who is this?
Suri.
Right, because this is supposed to be for
Suri @gmail.com.
Who's Richie?
That is my father.
And next thing he have to take the notes for you and print it or something. I don't know.
No, you send it straight to my email.
All right. Let's put Suri right here.
Yeah, but no dot. And it's Gmail.
Okay. Right. All this clerical stuff, it will be handled, right? Not by me. I don't deal with this. So I'm not going to go through this again. However, anybody did not see the name at all on your roll?
Excuse me, miss. Aidan Knight's email is wrong. It is not Matthew5 iCloud. And the number.
Right. What I'm telling the class, right? You see this part? Mr. Lyndon Brown will correct it all, right? So what everyone should do is maybe in the group later after class, send him your full name and your email with the number. So he will go and address that. All right. And next thing, who is not seeing their name at all and present in this class right now?
Excuse me, Miss, my name?
Right. What is your name?
Antonio Dukiram.
You're sure you're not in the evening class? I'm gonna check and see.
No.
All right.
And either Night has my number right now, so you can change it maybe.
This number here?
470. And up, yeah.
Oh, okay. And either night email is here. So you see how everything mixed up? All right, so let me just take down your name.
Yeah.
Got it?
ANTONIO, first name.
No, surname first.
Okay, DOOKIRM. IERM.
Uh-huh.
Antonio.
What's your first name?
Antonio. ANTONIO.
What's your number?
470
Uh-huh.
49.
470.
8849. Yeah.
Email.
Matthew.
This one up here?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So this will be fixed. I'm not the one who fixing this one. Okay. Moving on. All right. So at least I have everybody who was present. Anaya is present, right? But yes. I don't know what happened to Kabir. Oh, Kabir now started to talk. Yes. Message me privately, please. So we finished with the animal and plant cell. Now we're going to look at the microorganism. Now a virus is not, sorry, y'all can see. A virus is not considered a cell because it is said to not be living. It cannot carry out all 7 characteristics. Only when a virus invades a host inside of a human body or an animal or
But
plant.
when a virus enters a human body and it can duplicate and keep on duplicating from there,
Right.
inside the body.
Right. So that is when it becomes alive. So outside of the body, it is not said to be living. Inside of a body, it is said to be living. So you all are going to take down a little side note. I'm going to type it out for virus. Not considered a cell. Right, so look at the chart. You're going to take that down for virus. Not considered a cell because outside of a host, it cannot carry out all 7 characteristics of life. The term host means a living organism. So you're taking down that for host. Moving on. Now look at how the virus is looking. It is so different than the traditional animal and plant cell, where we have actual proteins around it. Instead of cell membrane, you have a viral envelope. Inside of the cell, let me not say cell, inside of the structure, you don't even have a nucleus. Instead, you have something called nucleic acid strand. And you have a caspid, which is made up. So this is basically proteins in a nutshell. So that is why a virus is so tough and strong and can withstand, you know, they could withstand a lot of challenges in the outside world. That is why they live, you know, they can float around in the air, they could be in water. Now, what they can't live with is alcohol. So any form, like let's say you have sanitizers that contain alcohol, it will definitely break down the virus and kill it.
So what about like constant sunlight?
Depend on the type of virus, right? Some are stronger, some are weaker. It depends on their makeup. So if you have a lot of protein structure in it, it is a very strong virus. The HIV virus is very, very strong as well because it contains protein all around it. And that is something we will look at in a future topic. So for now, a virus is not considered a cell, and this is the structure of it. This is not coming in the spelling test, by the way. Right, another microorganism is the bacterium. This have a lot of similarity with the plant cell because it have a cell wall, and it have a cell membrane, and it have cytoplasm. Now it has a tail. Obviously, this is how the bacterium moves, by the tail, and there's an outer layer around it called the capsule. So there's 3 layers: capsule, cell wall, cell membrane. Right? Instead of the nucleus, you have something called nucleoid. So let me zoom in. So capsules, so look at the structure carefully. So you all could definitely tell was the virus and was the bacterium. The next type of microorganism is the fungus. This is also very similar to the plant cell. Who could tell me? Well, obviously the cell wall is what makes it similar. The vacuole is kind of large as well. We have the nucleus. Now the fungus have a nucleus. So there's a difference here. Bacterium don't have a nucleus. Virus don't have a nucleus. Fungus have a nucleus. Now these are different cells in the human body. And why we have the term specialized is because they are able to carry out different functions. So not all the cells is going to look like the animal cell. They're going to vary in shape, size, and structure. So let's look at the first one, which is the epithelial. So you all are going to head up specialized cells in the human body. Number one, epithelial cells. Number two, egg cell or ovum. Number three, sperm cell. You don't have to write this long word, spermatozoon. Number four, nerve cell. And number five, muscle cells. So you all have five different, well, we have many other cells, but these are five specialized cells that have different functions in the body. All right, like the epithelial cell. So I'm going to write what each cell is responsible for. So you're going to look at the chart and take it down. Actually, it's right here. I don't have to take it down. So you all are going to take down this table. In fact, you don't have to take it down as a table. For each cell type that you name, you are going to write the function next to it. If you don't understand, raise your hand or type in the chat. So Emily, tell the class what they are doing.
Writing down the functions of the different cells and their functions.
Epithelial covers and protects body surface. Sperm, male gamete.
Miss, what's a gamete?
Gamete, right. So let me give that in the chat. Gamete is another word for saying sex cell.
Oh.
So males have the sperm cell, female obviously have the egg cell or the gametes. Female gamete are the egg, male gamete are the sperm. So you're taking down the function. Nerve cells is responsible for transmitting impulses throughout the body. So that allows us to move, to react. Muscles, in fact, is the main source of what allows our body to move from one location to the next. It also allows you to write your notes right now. So when you all are finished, you're pressing 1. Okay, moving on. Seeing that you all finished. So we have a very important word which they ask you to define in an exam. What is cell specialization or what is cell differentiation? So the word specialize come from specialization. So my background, my degree is in biology. So I'm specialized to teach biology, right? So cells are specialized to carry out a particular function. The sperm cell is specialized to only fertilize an egg cell, whereas the nerve cell is specialized. So that is what it's good at, in other words, right? Differentiation, however, means that it's very similar, meaning you have different cells in the body to perform different functions. Now, there's a very special cell called the stem cell, which is used for patients who undergo cancer patients who undergo chemotherapy or radiotherapy. Now, this don't exist in our country, but there's a particular cell that they could place that will repair and basically form into the cell that was damaged from all of that surgery.
Miss, but and radiotherapy bad for you?
Yes.
Right.
Miss also.
Radiotherapy destroys normal, healthy cells in the body, right? But stem cells can actually turn into whatever the cells were before. So it changing the shape and it basically forming into the cell that has been destroyed. So that is a new form of how to say, therapy or surgery, if you want to call it.
Possible.
Not in Trinidad, by the way.
Miss, but are even possible though?
What is that?
Yes, that's what I just said. That's a special cell that our body has, stem
What
cells.
was this stem cell?
Yeah, go ahead and you all could feel free to Google or YouTube this.
Yeah, I learned that, I learned this from integrated science and Form 2, so I did.
Very good.
Miss, when Emily and Sanjay were born, we had the option to save the stem cells from the placenta, but it was it was too expensive.
Yeah, that is a real expensive procedure.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Coming to the end, don't worry. So this is how our body is organized. The smallest unit of a living thing in our body is the cell. So when I say living, a cell on its own is carrying out all 7 characteristics of life, which is Grimna. Now, when you have a group of similar cells, it forms a tissue. All right, so this look like muscle tissue, skin tissue. Then when you have a group of similar different tissues, it forms an organ. So this looks like the stomach here. Now, when you have many organs working together, it forms a system. Anyone can tell me what system this looks like?
Well, it's called organ system. I said organ system, right? So,
No, we have different systems
the mouth,
in
the
the body.
stomach, the intestines.
What's that? The intestines?
Right. It's
The
called
mouth, the
like
stomach, the intestine.
the digestive system.
Yes,
Right.
All right, and we will learn about this. Now, this is not the only system. I'm just showing you all one scheme here. And obviously, when you have all organs working together, it forms you, which is an organism. Right, so I'm going to call out, I'm going to type out what a cell is, tissue. So we're going to have little notes in the chat coming up. So cell, I think you all have that already, but still taking on. Basic unit. Right, so cell, tissue, organ, system, organism. Now we have some questions here. So you all, if you have the notes on the WhatsApp group, that's fine. You could use it to help answer. I'm going to correct number 1 to 4. All right, so you all could, when you finish, do 1 to 4 for now. Anybody don't know what they're doing? Now, it have people in class who's be afraid to raise their hand, but at least with online class, you all know you could privately message in a group, right? So please do not get lost. We have, remember, that power class is 3 hours. Now, people that spend 5 years to do a CXC subject, you all are doing it in 1 year. All right. Some people they have to go through form 4, go through form 5, and then write an exam. You all are doing a CSEC subject in 1 year. Well, less than a year, from September to May. So that is why we have to get everything out of the way. We have to get everything covered and addressed in class one time, because next week we're going to do different topics. I'm going to put a reminder of the homework in the group chat, basically the spelling test. Some past papers that was sent. I will show you all the document.
I had on that.
That's on my side.
Me too, miss.
Me too.
Good thing nobody had to travel anything after class, yes? When you all are finished from finish questions 1 to 4, press 1. 3 more minutes. I just sent a new poll just to get some feedback on the first class. You all might see it pop up. If there's any queries or concerns, please feel free to message me privately. Or if you come across something that you don't understand, there's always the WhatsApp group. You could always message there as well if you miss something in class. And again, the recording, it takes a little while, but you will get the recording, so you could always play back to see if you miss anything. right, so I think we can correct 1 to 4. How many people? If you're still working, press 2. If you're finished, press 1. It's just 1 to 4, by the way. You're taking long. And this is what they call the practice questions. All right, I'm going to correct number 1. Explain 3 ways in which a car can be considered similar to a living organism and 3 ways in which it is different from a living organism. Who would like to volunteer to answer number 1?
Me.
All right, you go ahead and answer it.
Well, for the differences, the cars can't grow. They can't reproduce, and they can't it's called an excrete.
But how are they considered to be living? What's 3 ways they're considered to be alive? Well, living, like a living organism.
Well, because of movement, and they need gas to use.
Gas is linked to which characteristic?
Respiration. Nutrition, I mean.
Nutrition. So you mentioned movement, nutrition, and 1 more.
They have like mass.
They have. All right, so let me help you. Now, I would say, now I know this might be a little different question. They just want to know.
Well, yeah, no, I have another one. They can excrete.
They can't excrete, yeah. They get
Which is like the gas come out of the back. Like fumes.
Yes, they emit smoke. I know you all may not know cars, well, the females, but there's a muffler at the back of the car that has released smoke. So that is like getting rid of waste, right? So 3 ways in which the car could be similar would be movement, like Sandra said. So let me type that. Make sure you are writing full sentences too. 3 ways a car is similar to a living organism are ability to move, well, movement, nutrition. Cars require oil, gas, so that comes like the nutrient fit, the battery as well, and cars, depending on let's say when it's dark, some cars just put on the lights automatically, so it can't respond to changes in the environment. If somebody touched the car or somebody trying to steal the car, the alarm does go off. So that's irritability, we could say it like. Now 3 ways in which it is different from a living somehow? Okay, right. Organism are growth, reproduction, I wouldn't say respiration because the car do break down the fuel, and I can't say excretion. So growth, let me see. Movement, irritability. All right. What I'll do, I'll take out irritability and put it for the differences, and I'll put excretion for the similarity. Right. So that's the answer for number 1. Number 2. What is a cell? That's straightforward. So let's hear from anyone who wants
A
to
cell is a basic unit of life.
All right, basic unit of life, thanks. Outline the function of each of the following cell structures. Who wants to do mitochondrion?
Well, I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Well, it helps produce energy in order for the cell to live within our bodies, basically.
Produce energy, that's fine, yeah. B, endoplasmic reticulum. Mira?
The transportation of substance through the cell.
All right, transportation. You could also say makes protein. Right, so let me type out the rest for chloroplast. That one easy. So number 3, part C. Chloroplast, site of photosynthesis. Ribosomes produce protein. Cell membrane controls what enter and exit a cell. So that's it for number 3. Last one, what would happen to a cell if its nucleus is removed?
I can answer this, miss.
Okay, fine.
If the nucleus is removed, the cell won't function properly and it will die.
Right, the cell, if the nucleus comes like the brain of the cell, so if that is gone, the cell dies. Good. Right, so you are doing 5 to 8 for homework for me. But I want to bring to your attention a first past paper question based on cells. Right, so the practice questions is just like to make sure you understand your notes. But the past paper questions is how CXE bring the questions itself for exam. So you are given a plant cell here. I want you all to do this entire question. I'm giving you all 10 minutes for the, normally for a question like this, it's supposed to be less than 5 minutes, but I'm giving you all about, let's say 10 minutes for the most. If you are finished, we were correct. You could use your notes. You're doing each part as well. Make sure and label it. So you put in number 2, part A, part 1, A. Do not write the question. I repeat, do not write the question. Anybody confused? Say now, please. Right, so I know some people still working, but I want to at least get this first part out of the way. So let's correct the labels at least and the function for the label. All right. All right, so A, name the organelles label A and B.
Miss, that's the nucleus.
A is the nucleus and B is the
Endoplasmic reticulum.
correct endoplasmic reticulum. You all got that?
Yeah.
A, nucleus, B, endoplasmic reticulum. State one function of each of the organelles labeled C and D. So Antonio, what is the function of C?
The function of C will be where photosynthesis occurs to produce food for plants.
Very good. Since that's the chloroplast, what you do have to say, you just say that's the site of photosynthesis. Very good, where the plants make food. D, that's the mitochondria. So anyone got the function?
Yes.
Right, go ahead.
The mitochondrion, where respiration occurs to release energy.
Very good, where respiration occurs to produce energy. All right, so you all are going to continue. Anybody finish with B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's correct it one time.
Yeah.
You are required to view a virus and a typical plant cell under a microscope. Identify one feature that is common to both a virus and a typical plant cell.
I could answer, miss.
Yeah.
They can't be seen by the naked eye.
Very good. They are microscopic. They cannot be seen with the naked eye. That's why you need a microscope. But what is something common? Meaning something that it contains. That's what they really meant by this.
The nucleus or something?
The cell wall?
No.
Virus of a cell wall.
Protein?
Protein. Yeah.
Right, there it is.
Protein, and you could also state that they both, now virus don't have a nucleus, but they do have DNA. And plant
DNA?
cells have DNA in the nucleus. So contains DNA or protein. Two differences that would be observed between the virus and a plant cell. So you could talk about all things here.
Well, you could say a cell need a living host to reproduce.
You don't have to talk in terms of that. You're just talking about the structure.
Oh, the structure. Okay.
So somebody else, I hear from who? Anaya Thomas. So Anaya Thomas, tell me what is the difference between the virus and the plant cell?
Is the virus interacted from your skin?
No, that's not the answer. Right, so let me give you a hint. The virus have no cell wall, whereas the plant cell have a cell wall. You understand what I'm talking about? So something else now.
The plant cell have a mitochondrion and the virus does not.
Correct. So let me just go back in case you all forgot the structure of the virus. So virus don't have no cell wall, no nucleus, no cytoplasm, no starch grain, no mitochondria. So there's so much differences. But the similarities, they both have protein and DNA.
And no chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. Chloroplast, yeah. All right, next. Right, this one, it just had a label, the cells. W. I don't think I did this type of cell, did I? No. This is what you call the white blood cell.
Miss, you don't have to label it.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to label it. Name the cell, label Y, right.
Nerve cell.
Nerve cell. Are the cells classified as differentiated or undifferentiated? So are they different or not different, basically?
Different.
They are all differentiated or different because of their different shape, different function. All right. Now you all are going to complete this for homework D and E. This is taken from the same year. This is something you just have to match. We will do this in class after the spelling test. So you don't have to do this. We already complete that. This is also homework, guys. Question 1 and 3. 1 to 3, sorry. And this is a summary of what we did today. So we looked at Grimna, growth, reproduction, irritability, movement, nutrition, excretion, respiration. We looked at these structures of the cells: animal, plant, bacterial, fungus, virus, epithelial, nerves, muscles, sperm, and egg. And we look at how the organism is organized. So cell, tissue, organ, organism, system, and we learn 2 words: cell specialization and cell differentiation. So next week topic, we're going to look at transport processes, photosynthesis, food chain and food web, ecological. So 1, 2, 3, this is a lot. And I have videos to show you for this one. Right? Food chain and food web are real easy.
Oh, yeah.
I would like that.
And
Question?
photosynthesis.
So let me repeat the homework. You're finishing those questions that I showed you in the slide. You will also notice under week 1, you have 1 past paper, additional past paper to do. It's called cells homework, right? So cells homework is completing all of that and the remaining questions at the end of the slide. And don't forget, study for your spelling test. You all have to keep your camera on for that. Any questions before I go?
No, miss.
All right, so I'm going to send a reminder to the group as well. Okay, take care. Hope you all enjoyed. Same time next week. All right?
Yes, miss.
Okay, then. Bye.
Bye, man. Have a good one.
Bye.